Welcome back, science fans! Have you been lucky enough to witness a rocket launch in person? If so, I'm sure you would have been amazed at watching something so big blasting off into the sky, defying gravity, and hurtling up into space. But what if I told you that these same rockets can come back to Earth and be reused for future missions? The idea of reusing a rocket is relatively new. And in this video, we're going to explore SpaceX's rockets, how they're reused, and the impact they'll have on the future of space exploration. Throughout the history of space travel, traditional rockets have been expendable, meaning that after they complete their mission, they're left to burn up in the atmosphere or crash into the ocean. This single-use approach results in millions of dollars worth of hardware being discarded after just one flight. For example, consider the 1960s and 1970s Apollo moon missions that used the Saturn V rocket. The total cost of the rocket, adjusted for inflation, was approximately $1 billion per launch. Because the Saturn V was not designed with reusability in mind, most of the rocket's components were either discarded in Earth's atmosphere, left on the lunar surface, or burned up during re-entry. The only recoverable and reusable part of those missions was the command module, which carried the astronauts back to Earth. In 2015, SpaceX, a private space transportation company founded by Elon Musk, changed everything. They've overtaken some of the industry's biggest players and now lead in the development of reusable rockets. At the heart of their technology is the Falcon 9, a two-stage rocket designed to transport satellites and other payloads into orbit. The Falcon 9's first stage is responsible for generating the immense thrust required to lift the rocket off the ground and propel it through Earth's atmosphere. As the rocket ascends, it reaches a point where the first stage separates from the second stage, which continues to carry the payload into orbit. Now here's where the magic happens. After separation, the first stage of the Falcon 9 begins its journey back to Earth. It uses a series of controlled burns to slow down and orient itself for a precise landing. The Falcon 9 is equipped with 4 grid fins that help steer the rocket as it descends, while its landing legs deploy just before touchdown to provide a stable base. The first stage can land either on a ground-based landing pad or on a floating drone ship in the ocean, depending on the mission requirements and available landing options. Let's watch for a few seconds as the rocket enters the atmosphere, descends through the clouds, and closes in on the drone ship at sea. You're watching 2 video feeds. The one on the left is the first stage rocket that is returning to Earth, and the video on the right is the second stage that continues into orbit to deliver the payload. The company first achieved this milestone in 2015 and has now landed its rockets over 150 times by 2023. This is amazing technology. Finally, the legs extend and the engines provide just enough thrust to steady the rocket and allow a gentle landing onto the platform. By reusing rocket components, SpaceX not only reduces the overall cost of space launches, but also minimizes the environmental impact by lowering the demand for rocket fuel. This innovative approach has given SpaceX a competitive advantage over other companies in the space industry and is setting a new standard for sustainable space travel. But why is reusability so important? Well, consider the cost of manufacturing and launching each of these rockets. The Falcon 9 has an estimated per-launch price tag of around $67 million. A significant portion of this cost comes from the first stage, which houses the engines and fuel tanks. By recovering and reusing the first stage, the cost reduction opens the door for more frequent space missions and greater accessibility for commercial and scientific payloads. This is especially important for small companies because lower payload costs would allow these companies to launch their own satellites or experiments into space where they weren't able to afford them before. In addition, lower prices enable startups to develop innovative communication technologies, such as satellite-based services or remote sensing applications for agriculture and disaster management back on Earth. An example of a new project is the creation of space-based solar power stations. These stations would collect solar energy in space where sunlight is abundant, and then convert it into microwave or laser beams and transmit it back to Earth. While the concept has been around for decades, high payload costs have been a major barrier to its implementation. However, with reduced launch costs companies could deploy this technology and provide clean energy to remote areas or supplement existing electrical power grids. Reduced payload costs also open the door to educational opportunities as well. Universities could collaborate to launch small research satellites, providing hands-on experience to students in various STEM fields and inspiring the next generation of space scientists. This accessibility to space would foster innovation and creativity and lead to new products and solutions that would benefit everyone. But the benefits of reusable rocket technology extend beyond cost savings. It also promotes sustainability in outer space by reducing the amount of waste generated from discarded rockets. Furthermore, using the same rocket over and over again would allow companies to quickly launch satellites instead of waiting for new rockets to be built from scratch. Since the successful landing of a Falcon 9 first stage in 2015, SpaceX has continued to refine and improve its reusable rocket technology. In addition to the Falcon 9, SpaceX has developed the Falcon Heavy, a larger rocket capable of carrying heavier payloads into space. The Falcon Heavy utilizes 3 Falcon 9 first stages, which all return to Earth and can be reused for future launches. Looking ahead, SpaceX is working on a brand new vehicle called the Starship, which is being designed for missions to the Moon, Mars, and beyond. The Starship will have the capability to transport both crew and cargo, and its reusability will play a crucial role in making long-duration space missions more feasible. Now you can see how SpaceX's reusable rockets are revolutionizing the space industry, and will one day make space travel more affordable so that you and I can travel into space. The technology behind these rockets has the potential to reshape our understanding of space exploration and bring us closer to a future where humans are a multi-planetary species. Furthermore, SpaceX has set ambitious goals that have captured the world's imagination. With objectives like colonizing Mars, the company has attracted top talent, investments, and significant public attention. These bold visions have not only propelled SpaceX to the forefront of the industry, but also given them an advantage in terms of resources and public support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with our latest videos. But there's more to explore. Click on the next video to learn about space elevators, a futuristic concept for accessing space that could change the way we think about launching payloads and people into space. Until the next time,